what's up everybody? Another episode of SR Synth Weekly is here, and I am, as always, your beautiful Redneck. Got some great music this week, as always, and have some great new groups, and got some great groups that I've played before. We're going to jump right in, get started, and have some fun. First up today, got to start with our good friend ALPHABOT Yayo, and it's featuring Madigan. I've played them before, played them both together and separately. Both really good groups, just got some great music. If you don't know, ALPHABOT and Danny is out of Belfast, Northern Ireland. I forget where Danny's from, so sorry. They are a synthwave group, and the song they sent me today is called In Time. This gives me a lot of good vibes, and it has great, just whole vocals and good just sound of that whole synthwave beautiful sound. They call this is a synthwave cover actually of Robbie Robb's ballad from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's 30 years old from when they sent me this, so I can't remember. I guess it's 31 now. But this gives me a lot of vibes, and I kind of went with some of the usual winning vibe, as I call it. Let me just explain. The main is beating the main bully and in the tournament to win it all. We've seen that. They enter this tournament, like Karate Kid or something, something like that. The bully's been distraught. We see that whole bully sequence after they've been beaten. As the main and team celebrate, we see the main walk over to the lover, and they have this togetherness moment. You know how that goes. And then they understand what was at stake wasn't just the win, but each other. Then we see the team grab the main and celebrate. And full celebration begins as we see each team member getting a last view and kind of like the last narration before the end of the movie. Basically, it's that whole bully beaten thing. They've beaten him in a tournament or something that they said they couldn't win. And the whole team is celebrating together. And we get that whole little moment where the lover and the main, meet and get that whole, does that whole narration of what they did afterwards. And, we get them walking off in the sunset. That was the first view I got on it, and it just gives me that cool vibe. I don't know, it just did that whole feeling. Also gives me, on a second note, the main has returned from a mission. We see the friends and family all rush to greet them. As the song moves on, we see the main go to visit the lover who was afraid they were gone forever. We've seen that before. They've returned from a mission. The friends and family are there, but the lover isn't there because they can't do whatever. They're stuck at work or whatever. And as the song goes on, they meet, and we get the main visiting them at work, and the lover rushes to the main as they have this long embrace and kind of like little exposition. As they embrace, the boss says, "Get out of here," and they walk off arm in arm, enjoying that they are back together as we see them walk off into the sunset. I know in real life that wouldn't happen, but in the movie world, it always seems to be, like if they come to work, they come to work and, they haven't seen each other in a while. And they get this whole, lover's embrace, and the boss tells them to get out here and go enjoy yourself. And we get that whole feeling. Both of them work for me. I kind of like the first one better because it just gives gives a better vibe for it. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments. And here it is. It's a good way to start this week. It's ALPHABOT Yayo featuring Danny Madigan, and the song is called In Time. Next today we have Cool AM 7. I always screw that up. It's Cool AM 7. There we go. And if you haven't heard them, I've played them before. They are a chip everything, synthwave, whatever, group out of Poland. And the song they sent me today is called "The Most Significant Bit Is You." They just describe this as a synthwave song with a chiptune vibe. I kind of go with because that's the only description they give me. I kind of go with like I don't want to sound bad, but like, like those teen 80 movies where they have some kind of like fantasy deal with like an alien. In fact, that's what the first one's about. And, it just gives us that, that happy feel. And it's kind of like this. I got a montage as the first one. We see the group with a new alien friend as they show them around the area they live. As this is going on, we see the alien learning and getting into mischief while the group tries to keep the alien from getting, in trouble and the identity a secret. We then see them all alone as the alien is showing them what all they can do, showing the powers and they have and all the technology, which puts this group in awe. And then as the song starts to end, we see them all just enjoying each other in the company. Basically, an alien's come to Earth. We've seen that before. The aliens come to Earth and, they've befriended this group of teens or group of kids, and they're just getting into mischief, trying to keep this secret identity as the alien's learning. We've seen that all time and time again. It's really cool. I like that. I like those kind of movies like that, and that's the vibe it gives me with the first one when I first heard it. On a second note, it also gives me this. The main and other groups are working in the forest, keeping the trees and other creatures safe, and growing as the world is all alive. We see the trees are happy to get the assistance from the main and the others. The other creatures are all in a town working together to keep the area growing and safe from the outsiders. As the song moves through, we see each person of the town doing their jobs and shows at the beginning of the movie. Basically, this is the beginning of what the movie's about. We get it's a fantasy movie. In my mind, I chose like a fairy group. They're working on the trees. We see them working on the trees, and the trees are helping them, grow themselves to, to shade this town so the outsiders don't get in. Then we see this town itself and everybody going through the whole thing before the main storyline of the movie. Both those feel that's another vibe it gives me. Like I said, you got a 180-degree vibe here, but it works on two stories, and I like the first one the most, but that one also works for me. So as always, let me know what you think. And as always, follow on their platforms and everything. Follow all the social media. Go buy their music. Buy everybody's music on this thing. So check it out. It's a really good song. It's a Cool AM 7, and the song is called "The Most Significant Bit Is You." Next up today, we have our good friend Eli Raybon and his wonderful sonic music that he does. If you don't know him, he's a future funk artist out of Virginia, and the song they sent me today is called "Saturday Nights in Space." As he describes this, before you know it, you've been instantly launched into the cosmic nightlife, and the song gives a lot of good vibes with that. This song just has some great sonic vibes of both space and space and flight, and just having an interesting good time, getting ready for like a club scene that you've seen in space movies. In fact, it's where I'm starting. Let's start with this. I chose "We See the Team Land and Walk into a Bar on Io2." I just chose that moon. They walk in and see the robots and other aliens all in the club having a good time while the band plays, which is the artist. We see the main walk over and get with the bosses who they work for. The boss, the main, and all the team are all sitting going over the next mission for them while we pan around the bar and we see all the fun that everyone's having. We then see the team go out and have a good time with the others, while at the midpoint we see the evil is starting to watch the main, which starts the whole exposition of the movie. Basically, we get this whole group of team. They're walked into the main bar and they've gone up to the bosses who they work for and getting their next mission and talking about the last mission. And they're kind of like bounty hunters or whatever you want to call them. And while the whole team's having a good time, about towards the song, that second piece, we see like an evil or a bad guy just staring at them, and then that's who we get to see who the main bad guy is before the main exposition of the movie. That's the first vibe it gave me. The second vibe it gave me is the team is flying around the new city, keeping the peace. We see the city is lively, and as the team is moving around, we see all the different cultures. They're happy to be a part of this whole group, and happy to be part of this. I use police force or group force, and then we see them meet many different aliens, robots, and others just to say hi before the main storyline starts. At the song change, you'll hear it in the song. At the song sort of changing, we see them walk into the precinct, which changes the mood of the story. Basically, we can see these two cops at the beginning of the movie. They're precinct. They're flying around of this new city, trying to keep the peace, and it's pretty utopian. But there are bad guys. But we see them all get along with everybody, and then as the song goes along, we see them meeting all these people, just doing their morning routine, and then as the second part of the song goes in, they go in and we see them walk into the precinct to start the main story. Both work for me. It could work on the same same vibe, but just let me know what you think. And also, as always, follow everybody there. Make sure you follow them on their social platforms because they all have some great content, great music, and keep up to date with what they do. Anyway, here it is. It's a really good song, so check it out. It's Eli Raybon, and it's Saturday Nights in Space.
Extraordinaire. Can you see the supernova? I just can't help but smile. You move
Next today in our beautiful Sonic Wonderland, we have K2RE. I've played them before, and if you don't know, they are a synthwave group out of Italy. And the song they sent me today is called 11 Nights. And this has a really good game vibe. I didn't check for this, but in the description it says the duo was made part of the soundtrack of the virtual reality video game Neon Soul, outrun by FleischKrieg. I hope I'm saying that right. I didn't check and see if this was actually on there, but it's just in the description. So either way, if it's not, it's still a cool thing that they were in that VR game. But this gives me that kind of like that, like a game vibe, or like that, training, beating the bad guy in a like fight movie kind of feel. So I kind of went with this for the first. We see the main has completed the training after being beaten and gaining new knowledge and power. We see the eyes of them getting ready at the beginning, and then we see them walking to the car, which has now been modified. Basically, we see that whole deal. They've been beaten the first time, and they get all this new knowledge and power from like elders or whoever training them. And this whole thing is being modified. The whole car is now modified too. And as this goes on, the main then drives back to the city where the evil lies. We see them at the edge walking in and taking out all the goons throughout the city as the evil is getting agitated over it and sends more. I'm sorry. We then see the main driving through the front gates of the evil. We see at the slow mid part of the song, the main enters the evil lair, and we see the evil and main have a stare down before the final showdown, each giving a monologue before the final fight. Basically, they've been beaten, they've retrained, got new power, new everything. They go through the city, beat everybody up, all the goons, and just take them out. Evil's getting agitated about it and sends more goons and, just beats them out. Then we get that whole about midway song. We see them meet, the evil and the main meet, and they get this whole little monologue like we always get in movies before this huge final fight sequence. That's the first thing it gave me. Second thing it gave me is an evil has possessed the secondary character. Basically, I have a main character and secondary characters in most things. We see that the change at the start, and then after the change, we see the person start to change appearance, and we always get that. They always start out as one thing and then change appearance and become something different, clothes-wise. And they walk through the town understanding the new body they're in. We see them causing evil and trouble for others as they grow in power with this new body. We then see them start to take out people to feed on for more power and continue to silently terrorize the city. We then cut to the main who's doing research on the being that is possessing the person so they can take them down. Basically, the shy person or secondary character has been possessed by this evil. The evil's become like a whole big tyrant. And in the shadows, they get to gain power by taking out people and getting souls, whatever, blood. And the whole time this is going on, we see them whole little montage of them just taking out people and growing and understanding as the main character knows that they're possessed, is trying to figure out how to, stop the evil from inside of them and get the possession out of them. Both, like I said, as you can see, both you got two different 180 degrees on that, but both will work in a different storyline. So let me know what you think. As always, check out this song. It's really awesome, and here it is. It's K2RE, and the song is called 11 Nights. Next today in our beautiful music wonderland, we have FleischKrieg. They are a electro-industrial synth pop, dark electro, everything, group out of Seattle. The song they sent me today is called Saunting Eyes, and they call this a dark electronic dance. My own personal thing kind of leans more towards an industrial dance. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And it kind of gives me that good little evil vibe, good little evil, good, kind of like a chase scene. So I kind of went with this first. We see the group chasing the evil throughout the city. As they move through, the evil is trying to defend themselves, and the main group is trying to take them out. We then see the goons attaching innocent people as the main is trying to save others. We then see the main evil walk up to face the main group. They give the goons more power, which doubles them in size. The main group and evil all have a fight in the city as the song is going on. Basically what's going on is that we got this whole group. We've got like these mercenaries or whatever they are. They're trying to take out these evil that's taking over the city. We see the goons running around trying to defend themselves and attack others, and continue their little attack mission and everything, but the goons are taking them out. Then we see the main coming in and just destroying, giving them more power because they know that in their current condition they won't be able to face them. And we get this whole little face down of the two groups fighting each other throughout the song, while the song is going on throughout the city, and we're just like a whole big fight scene. So that was my first feeling on it. Like I said, it gives me that kind of like chase fight deal. Next one it gives me, we see the main evil enter the city and see the nightlife. We then cut to the evil taking out people in the shadows, while others who work for them are searching for a piece to help their master grow. They terrorize the area while searching, and the evil is moving through the background, gaining power in this montage sequence. We then cut to the main who's out to stop the group but is overwhelmed. Basically, the main evil has shown up in the city weekend, and the people who works for him, like goons or whatever, their master, they got to search for this whole. They got to search for these items for the master while the master is trying to gain strength. And this whole time while they're doing that, the main is trying to figure out how to beat the group, but is overwhelmed by the amount of numbers or the power they have at the moment. Like I said, both work for me. It could work in the same movie actually on this time, but it's a really good song. It's a really good vibe for that. Just kind of gives me that evil vibe. So let me know what you think. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, check out their platforms and everything else. So here it is. Check it out. It's really awesome. It's FleischKrieg, and the song is called Saunting Eyes.
Feel hear what you have to say. His eyes won't steal away. I am not the world's most interesting life. Real life is fake. The lies I play. Stay along your days. I won't decide who's wrong or right. I fall burning me with your light. The divine disguise as a dirty hole. You and me, well, what involved? Don't deny what you can't even feel. A sign that I'm naturally come to hate. A sign that your eyes kill. Don't deny what you can't even feel. A sign that I'm naturally come to hate. A sign that your eyes kill. The lies I play. Stay along your days. I won't decide who's wrong or right. I fall burning me with your light.
Before we go any further, if you're new here, welcome. If you're enjoying the show and everything, please like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification. I try to get the music. I try to get the shows out every Tuesday. So if you hit that bell notification, you'll know when it comes out every on your YouTube. As always, also follow me on all my platforms. Follow all the music on all these artists and all the artists on my past episodes. Follow all their platforms and all the social media, and buy all their stuff as always, because that's what they're there for. Listen to their music and buy it. Next up today, we have our good friend ALPHABOT, and as always, they are a synthwave group out of Area 55, and it says, "Until I'm given a body, I may never leave." So they're going to be stuck in Area 55 for a while. The song they sent me today is called Stereophonic, and they describe this as at your friendly dystopian city, local disco, where every bot knows your name. Basically, Cheers in space. I don't know. I don't know. I read that and I just thought that. So I came up with a little different. It's a really good. It has a lot of good vibes. So it gives me a lot of different ideas. So I kind of went with this. The main in the group enter the town after their change. We see each member has been changed by the magic they've found. We see them more confident and completely different than the little shy people that they once were. We've seen that before. They find this amulet or whatever they found out, and they've been changed by it, and they've been given more power, and they're more confident than they once were. And we can get that whole little vibe scene. And we see them moving around using the magic to have fun and give it even with the bullies they were dealing with. We've seen that before. We then see a montage of them learning more about the magic from the research that they've gotten from the book or amulet or whatever. So basically, they've gotten, we've seen them before where they've gotten, they found this book or amulet that's changed them, given them magic, given them powers, and it gives them more confidence, gives them everything. They go back to the town after being changed, and we see this whole little deal where they're, having fun using the powers, taking out bullies, the whole little thing. You've seen that before. That's the first vibe I got for it. So second vibe I got it was we see the main turn up the powers to the turbine of the ship. We then see the team gather for takeoff. Off in the cosmos, they go to a distant planet to save a friend. We see the main giving an explanation for the rescue mission for the friend, and we then see as the beep starts on the song, they enter the silent, dead world where the friend is supposed to be. As they land and search the new area, we see the desolation but many lights of the abandoned city. As they continue the search, they see a person running in the distance and they run to check it out. Basically, you know, their friend's been needs to be rescued, and they rush off to this planet, and they find out the planet is dead, sort of, or looks dead, and you know, they're going through the town which has been desolated, and as they're going around, they see all these like shadows, and all of a sudden they see this person off in the distance. They got to go run and find out. But we get this whole exposition of what happened to the town and everything while this song's going on. Both work, in my opinion. As always, it's just my opinion, so you know, whatever, everybody's gonna have a different opinion. So check it out and let me know what you think in the comments of the song and the group. And as always, you know, follow them. So here it is. It's ALPHABOT, and the song is called Stereophonic. Last today we have Iterations. Played them many times. If you don't know them, they're a synthwave group out of Washington, D.C. And the song they sent me today is Killer Kane. No, not the wrestler or the mayor. But I don't know. Hell, it could be. It could be what they backgrounded on. I don't know. I haven't talked to them. Anyway, they described this as a cinematic synthwave, and it really is that. It gives me a title sequence feel at the beginning, so I kind of went with this in the first. We see the main rush out and down the road in this special modified car, which is has a lot of toys and bells, whistles, you know, that whole deal. We see them running through the streets as we get a montage of the storylines of the main running missions and saving the day. We then cut to the car and showing off all the bells and weaponries it has. As the song moves on, the main is talking with the bosses about the next adventure they're about to take on. Towards the end of the song, we then see them rushing off to the next adventure. basically, I kind of went almost Knight Rider on it. That's just the feel, like title sequence of Knight Rider. We've all seen it. You know, the car, you know, the vehicle is the big main thing, but we see them running around and, you know, running through this whole different streets. We see the whole montage running through the streets and doing different adventures, past episodes, and, you know, we see the boss and them having this like a little exposition of what the storyline's about. And, you know, and towards the end of the song, we see them rushing off into the distance to go on the next adventure, which starts the next episode. That's the first feeling. Like I said, it gives me that title sequence kind of feel on it. So I kind of went with that for the first one. The second one I went with is the main and the main boss are having a final sequence before the final battle. We've seen that before. They've you know, get face to face, kind of have that little you know, they have this little monologue of each other before they have this final fight. And as it's going on, each show off their might, and they have, like I said, they have this little exposition. The main boss then starts the fight with the technology that they have, while the main is seen blocking the barrage of, you know, whatever this attack is. We then cut to the main and boss fighting while moving around the real world and the VR world. Basically, and I'll tell you in a second. As they move around fighting, we see the main start using the special items that they've been given to shut down the VR world and make the boss fight in the real world, which the boss has limited power. Basically, what I came up with this in my own mind is we got this boss who can travel between two worlds. A VR world, he can go through the real world to the VR world without special equipment. And they get this final exposition as they get this whole face down and monologue each other, and then the fight starts. And as fighting starting, the new weapons and technology that the boss has, the main is able to, you know, escape the barrage, and they fight through this whole VR world. They keep going through a VR world and the real world, and then the main is able to trigger this device, which shuts down the VR world and makes the main evil boss limited in power, and they can have this final fight in a more Mortal Kombat type setting. So that's kind of what I came up with it in my own mind. So like I said, I have really weird ideas, but it's a really good song and it really works there. So let me know what you think. As always, follow them and check it out. It's a really good song to end today. It's Iterations, and the song is called Killer Kane. that's it for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed the music on this. As always, I could always use some help. Sharing this episodes, letting everybody know. As always, tell your friends, tell your dog, tell your doctor, tell the goldfish in the sea, just help me out. If you like the music and you like this channel, like the show, I know I don't have a lot of views on it, but I'm just growing this channel. I'm just trying to get, a little bit out there, and every view helps. Again, I appreciate all the artists on my shows that I get, and I love all the music that you send me. And if you're an artist and you're just now checking out this show and you don't know if you should send me your music, do it anyway. As long as it's music, I'll play it. And as long as it's a full song. I don't do half songs or 30-second beats. I can't do that because it just doesn't give me much. Anyway, I appreciate everybody, and I thank everybody, and I'll see everybody next week. Hope everybody has a great week coming up, and it stays dry on your end. Anyway, I will talk to everybody next week. Have a great one. Bye.